Welcome to this episode of Waddell TV, just sponsored by Multitude. Check them out. They're in downtown Columbus, and this is a 32-ounce vessel they call the Crowler. So thanks, Multitude, for sponsoring this episode.
It's good beer.
Very good. I'm Reynolds Bickerstaff, and this is Eddie Kirby with Guarantee Mortgage. Thanks for being here today, Eddie.
You're welcome.
Tell us why mortgages? How'd you get into the business?
Well, I actually started out as a real estate agent.
Really?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough gig. And I was a licensed real estate agent when I was in college at the University of Georgia.
Okay.
Selling farms and land. And you know, the worst thing that happened to me is my very first sale was an $895,000 sale. Which,
that's terrible.
Back in the day, that was pretty big money. And so I thought, well, this is easy. I'll do one of these a month. Didn't quite work out that way. But I was making a living, but then, you know, wife, kids come along and everything, and I had a bank. It was the largest, second largest S&L in the state at the time, and they kept saying, come do mortgages. People are much nicer to you when they're asking you for money. And they are. So 32, 33 years ago, that's how I got into the mortgage business.
And how many years have you been in this market?
In this market in Columbus, 6 years.
Okay. 6 years. Wow. That's flown by.
Yeah, it has. It really has.
What do you like, Eddie, about this industry so much? What do you love about being a loan officer?
Well, two things, really. I'm a numbers guy, so I like, you know, the fact that we're dealing with, you get to play with millions and millions of dollars of other people's money. You know, I've closed over $500 million personally in loans. Where else do you get to play with $500 million worth of money? But then, more than anything, you know, it's can be trying to deal with first-time home buyers, but the excitement that they have, really, that's something special, because it brings back, you know, when you bought your first home, I bought my first home, and sometimes we forget about that, and I try to get that point across to our staff all the time.
They seem to be the most appreciative in the whole process.
Right, right.
Well, you and I obviously share an affinity for craft beers. As a loan officer, I've got some dead weight here too. What's your summertime recommendation for craft beers?
You know, I'm a traditional type guy, and I know they don't view them as craft anymore, I guess. But the Sam Adams Summer Ale, on draft, I'm not as crazy about it out of the bottle. But on draft, I just love that beer.
That's a great beer.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, be sure to check out Multitude. They've got a lot of great craft beers for your summertime tasting. And Eddie with Guarantee Mortgage is our preferred lender, and we hope that they'll be your next preferred loan officer. Thanks for watching this episode of Waddell TV. Until next time.